Gon, the third son of Son Goku, wakes up in an unknown palace. The battle that took place in all universes resulted in losses for both sides of the war. Specifically in Universe 7, the battles were more complex thanks to the Z Warriors. A parallel victory of Universe 7 managed to be brought. But even so, the warrior who apparently had the greatest battle potential was captured by the Angel of Universe 14. Kai, the Angel, regarded as the strongest in brute strength, captures Goku's third son. Gon says, "What's happening to me? My body feels like it took a real beating. I just remembered the moment when I was fighting that angel. That guy was pretty crazy. He spoke only of subjects as if he was a hero who wanted to protect the universe, and in the end, he was invading our universe. I can't understand. If I'm down here, it means that I lost the fight. Damn it." At that moment, Kai appears and says, "You fought me, and you fought bravely, boy. Haha. I said I wouldn't end you, but I couldn't let you win either, so that's why I brought you here. This place is the palace of the Great Mother Priestess, the mother of all angels." At that instant, Gon observes and speaks. "You're here again? Wait, so does this mean that I really was defeated? Where are all the others?" Kai starts laughing and says, "I already told you that you fought bravely. His powers were very high, but there is no angel more powerful than me. Perhaps if you had fought one of my brothers, you could have emerged victorious. But you fought Kai, the Universe 14's most powerful angel. Even the two gods of destruction that came with me took a hell of a beating to the warriors who were fighting alongside your father. I must say that they are very strong. Son Gohan, who is actually his brother alongside Piccolo and Broly and the others, did very well in the first phase of the war. I could have taught them a lesson, but I needed to bring you here for the Mother of Angels to decide what to do with you." Haha. At that moment, Gon says, "I think I was still holding back my powers. Maybe if I hadn't contained my angelic strength and fought 100%, I could have emerged victorious." Kai watches and speaks. "Hahaha, no way. I didn't use all my powers either." Gon watches and says, "What? This guy looks like he can read minds. What is happening?" At that moment, a great voice arises. "Ha ha ha ha. Perfect to meet you. You are Son Goku's son, aren't you?" Gon observes an angelic female presence and says, "Who are you?" Kai smiles and says, "Calm down. She is Zakai, the mother of all angels." At that moment, Zakai says, "I am the mother of the angels, but you can just call me Zakai. I'm here to tell you that we are in a celestial war, and maybe for many moments it is meaningless. I feel that Cypher's energy that fought you a while ago is sealed away in Universe 6 by your mother Vados. Unfortunately, Ziel was destroyed in Universe 11. Zyko next to Zyro so far, they haven't returned. I confess that I still don't know where they are. But you are here with us. You can end this war. You can end it all. Have you ever thought about it? You to the Saiyan with the angelic power we need, Gon." Gon with a serious face says, "What are you talking about?" "Alright partner, why don't you whack that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos and stay well inside our entire universe of Z Warriors. Let's get back to it." Days passed. In Universe 7, all the Destruction Cats and all other beings that were a threat had been eliminated. At that moment, Shenron's magic ended up being undone, and all humans had returned to Earth and to their respective planets. Beerus the Destroyer says, "It seems that not even Shenron's power was able to contain all the mortals on the planet it had been called upon to. But still, Goku, we can see that you and Vegeta have become much more powerful. The Mother of Angels seems to have ceased her attack for the time being. What must she be wanting with your son?" I could already think of several questions. At that moment, Whis appears in Universe 7. Whis says, "I've been looking for some information, Mr. Beerus, and there is someone who knows what we have to do." At that moment, Goku was with all the Z fighters: Krillin, Tenshin Han, Yamcha, Piccolo, Goten, Trunks, Gohan, and the others. Goku says, "I have no idea what they are trying to do with Gon, but I'm sure some sort of blackmail could be going on. We can't let them have it." Vados directly appears in Universe 7 and stands by Whis. Vados says, "Son Goku, in fact what they want is to bring the kingdom back from the Angels of Darkness, and to open that portal would need the most powerful energy of destruction and the most powerful energy of creation. Apparently, Gon has these powers because he has your Saiyan blood and my angelic blood." Gohan watches and speaks. "What does this boy have to do with my father and Mrs. Vados?" Goku looks at Gohan and speaks. "Haha, calm down, Gohan. It's a long story." Vados goes on to say, "They will want to make him strong and make him build great confidence and then sacrifice him and serve as the key to open the portal of the Kingdom of Dragons against the kingdom of the most powerful race, and thus have complete control over all universes." At that moment, Goku watches and says, "What? Miserable. They want to kill Gon to fulfill his ideals?" Beerus says, "I always knew and always imagined it could happen. I just didn't think it would happen so soon." Vegeta beside Goku rages and speaks. "If they bring an hour of warriors to their side and attack our universe, it will surely be impossible to defeat them." Vados and Whis start to laugh and say, "Perhaps, if only you were talking about yourselves, you would certainly be at an extreme disadvantage. But now we already have a card that will bring us hope. Some universes manage to defeat some of them, so they must probably be very angry. But to accomplish their goals, they will not be doing anything against these universes. On the other hand, we already have the warriors who will accept to fight until the end." Goku watches and says, "What? Like this?" Beerus starts to smile, and at that moment, through the Celestial Cube, all the warriors who had the best performance in the war are transferred directly to Earth from Universe 7. Caulifla, Jiren, Kaba, Hit, Kale were all gathered. A voice comes up. "Vegeta-san, Goku-san, don't forget about me." Granola appears, an unusual presence. All the other warriors who had fought emerge. Incredibly, Frieza was beside them. Vegeta says, "What is that bastard doing here?" At that moment, Vados speaks. "Frieza only attacked you for a plan that he had been granted to carry out himself. He was able to understand more about the enemy and passed all this information on to us. So oddly enough, Frieza is not the enemy, at least for now. In fact, if it weren't for him, we wouldn't have been able to put together this strategy." Frieza starts laughing.
"Just see, Vegeta. Our fight will have to wait for later."
At that moment, Caulifla looks at Goku and says, "Grandpa, I'm sure you must have gotten much stronger, but I managed to raise my power to unimaginable levels." Goku starts to smile and says, "Haha, you are all here now. I'm sure we have high chances of winning. You managed to get much stronger." Gohan starts to smile next to Broly. It seems that hope for a Universe 7 and all universes had been created. At that moment, Beerus and Whis begin to analyze the situation. Beerus says, "I have a plan." At that moment, everyone watches. Beerus speaks. They know that because of the great mighty warriors that exist here, and the hope factor for the battle makes everyone stronger. So by that factor, they just knew things were going to get more and more intriguing. This way we couldn't leave it beaten. Banzerot and Zaki, who are considered the ultimate Saiyans, due to having fought all Saiyans in the end, they let their guard down and ended up being defeated. But still, in this territory, they only managed to use 30% of their powers. Do you see that? But we have already proved that our level of resilience is the highest. This time they had attacked our universe. Now, we're going to do the opposite. We will attack theirs. The advantage and all the risk will be ours. Beerus starts to smile. Goku and all other Z fighters are excited. Goku says, "So it will be this time that we will end this war and save Gon." Grand Priest's Palace. The High Priest looks at Zeno-sama's guards and says,
It seems that the flame of hope has returned again, but we have a problem.
At that moment, Zeno-sama wakes up. Meanwhile, in the unknown galaxy at Zakai's palace, Zakai alongside Kai starts watching Banzerot and Zaki's body being recovered. At that moment, Yujiro appears and speaks. "Looks like things were a lot more complicated. Invading the enemy's territory, and still only with 30% power, makes it very difficult for us to resolve this situation." Kai watches and says, "I was at 30% power, and I still managed to defeat this boy. And this boy is much more powerful than the Saiyans you are fighting. You are very weak. At that moment, Yujiro speaks. "You think too much, Kai. Soon I will make up with you." At that moment, Zakai starts to smile and says, "Our goal is close. We had losses, but this is a war. We have to focus on our second celestial phase. Now that we have Gon with us, it's only a matter of time before we complete our plan. Everything will start. Let's bring him back, our dear Supreme Dragon, and open the portal to the realms." Days passed, and apparently the land was at peace. The first phase of the Celestial War had taken place, and several losses had taken place for both sides. However, still Goku beside Vegeta and all the other warriors were with Beerus preparing for the invasion of the Celestial Kingdom of the Angel Zakai. Goku trained with Vegeta, trying again to master his Omni powers. Goku says, "Vegeta, since all this started, it seemed that we have been able to surpass our powers more and more, but very strong enemies still keep appearing. Banzerot and Zaki are two monsters. If it's true that they only used 30% of their powers, we need to stay on getting much stronger if we want to come out victorious in this fight. This really turns out to be amazing." At that moment, Vegeta starts to observe and says, "They are powerful, but they still won't be able to defeat us. After I discover the true essence of my power, no one else will be able to defeat me, Kakarot. After all this is over, I want to have a fight with you to prove I'm superior." Beerus and Whis start watching. Beerus says, "Looks like the two of you are trading pretty well. They are wanting to get more and more powerful. That's interesting. If we stop to think about everything that happened, it was quite intense. Gon is captured. But don't worry. You can get more powerful because I'm sure that as long as Gon is useful to Zakai, she won't do anything against him." Gohan observes and speaks. "It seems that all of this that ended up happening made us realize that if we don't get stronger, Earth could end up ceasing to exist in the blink of an eye. There are many powerful warriors that end up appearing here. I'm sure we'll have to sort this whole situation out." At that moment, Goku begins to increase his powers even more. Goku says, "I'm sure my Omni energy will come back." At that moment, Goku, combining his Ultra Instinct, begins to feel a huge anomaly in his body. Beerus and everyone else starts watching. At that moment, Beerus says, "What is that? What's going on with Goku?" Goku's Omni energy started to change and became an entirely different color. Goku's Omni energy felt like it was being combined with another power. At that moment, Whis starts laughing and says, "It looks like he finally woke up." Beerus next to Vegeta, Gohan and the others speak. "Who woke up?" At that moment, Whis smiles and says, "Ha ha ha, Zeno-sama." Palace of Zeno-sama. Zeno-sama finally wakes up from his sleep. Zeno observes everything and says,
Daishin-kan, it seems that my sleep was too long. What happened during all this time? I feel like universes ended up being torn apart. The gods of destruction finished their job sooner than we thought.
At that moment, Zeno-sama's guards start to observe Daishin-kan. Daishin-kan says,
Good. It wasn't just that. Master Zeno, I can say that we ended up having visits from beings from the past.
Zeno-sama looks impressed and speaks.
Oh, what happened, Daishin-kan?
Daishin-kan smiles and says,
It seems that the High Priestess Zakai, alongside the gods of destruction of the universes that were erased by the Lord in the past, somehow ended up returning. So it seems with that, things got much more complex and resulted in a celestial war. A few moments ago, Zakai was here. Goku and his friends fought extremely hard battles. A son of Goku who was brought from another timeline that would be the key to ending this war ended up being captured by the Mother of Angels. So that's why I confess that all the warriors are carrying out a new training to be able to carry out the invasion directly in the palace of the great priestess Zakai.
At that moment, Zeno-sama makes a straight face and says,
Like this? This all happened while I was sleeping. Why didn't Goku ever tell me he had another son? He could play with me.
Daishin-kan keeps talking.
The most complex thing is that even if you wanted to erase those universes, you wouldn't be able to due to some spell that was cast by the priestess Zakai. So maybe it would be good for us to pay close attention, because even so, a great battle will take place, Sir Zeno.
Zeno-sama starts to smile and says,
I so wanted to play the universe with them again. I blacked out in their universe in the past because I knew they were going to do all this. I knew that in the past they will show the whole truth. They are evil. They always wanted to destroy everyone, but now if they have this nullification magic, I already know how interesting it would be to fight all this.
At that moment, Zeno-sama begins to spread his energy directly to all universes. Large purple auras begin to spread out. Zeno-sama feels a great omni-god energy and says,
Whose power is this? This power is very similar to the power of creation and destruction.
At that moment, the great priest begins to smile and speaks.
Good. I believe that this power belongs to someone like you a lot, Mr. Zeno. That power is Son Goku's.
At that instant on Earth, Goku says,
What's going on with my body? It seems that my body is increasing its heavenly energy more and more. I can't understand what this is.
At that moment, Beerus observes and speaks. So does that mean that Zeno-sama woke up? If he woke up, it is possible that the energy that is flowing in his body is flowing as the universal energy. It could be that it's being transmitted directly into Goku's body once he reached the Omni stage. Everyone starts watching and speaking.
What? So what's going on with you, Goku?
Gohan speaks.
It seems that my father is reaching a new power.
Broly smiles and says,
It's very familiar, but at the same time it's very different from the power he showed when he was fighting directly against Banzerot and Zaki. And I thought that his limit was close when he showed the Infinite Saiyan in the Grand Priest's palace.
At that moment, Beerus watches and says, Goku, grant me a fight with you here and now. I want to understand a little more of your energy. Goku starts trying to understand what was happening to his body. Vegeta is just watching. Goku says,
Alright, Sir Beerus, let's test this power of mine.
At that moment, Goku with his other Ultra Instinct activated goes towards Beerus. Beerus easily dodges the attacks and with the mastery of the Ultra Ego, activates an extremely high power and launches it over Goku's body. Cornered Goku speaks. It seems that this power of Mr. Beerus is really very powerful. I'm thinking here, in the same way that if I use Infinite Saiyan, I would lose all my Omni energy. My Omni form manages to be even more powerful, but for some reason, I'm not able to focus it 100%. Goku tries to attack Beerus. At that moment, Beerus dodges and uses his Hakai form. Goku manages to recover, and after using his Omni form, Goku manages to suck all the Hakai energy into his Omni power. The Omni energy apparently caused Goku to absorb the energy and pump it all into his body. Beerus and Whis beside everyone are surprised. At that moment, a big explosion happens. Goku says, "What is this power that I'm emanating? This is all amazing." At that moment, Whis observes and speaks.
Does that mean he manages to overcome himself more and more? It seems that his power was noticed, Son Goku. Finally, he arrived.
A great light arises directly in Universe 7. At that moment, it was Zeno-sama beside the High Priest and his guards. Beerus and Whis are impressed. Zeno-sama looks at Goku and says,
Whoa, Goku, it's been a while. You must have gotten a lot stronger than you did in the Tournament of Power. We need to talk.
Zeno-sama's guards make a serious face and the High Priest continues to chuckle. What does Zeno-sama have to say to Goku? Meanwhile, in the unknown galaxy in the palace of the Grand Priestess, Goku's third son with Vados was trying to run away through the ruins of the palace, but the voice of the High Priestess spoke.
It doesn't matter how many times you have to escape from here, Gon. It won't work. Come on, come with me.
At that instant, Gon watches and speaks. It looks like there's no way. For me to get away from this place, the first thing I'll have to do is finish them all off here. At that moment, the High Priestess appears in front of Gon and speaks.
Don't worry. Don't be afraid of me. I will not do like Zyros giving you a kiss of death. I will simply make you understand that by your side, we will conquer everything. Please just listen to me, Gon.
Gon was shocked by everything the High Priestess Zakai had said. The Great Priestess Zakai was analyzing everything that would happen within this war. Gon didn't know about the past of the angels and the gods of destruction that were erased earlier by Zeno-sama. Gon starts to question himself. It seems that whatever she's talking about is some kind of trap, but even so, not everything she is saying seems to be a lie. Really, the power of the gods and the decision to want to erase the universe whenever they want is something complicated. Zeno-sama's power as a child, being able to carry out more and more catastrophes, becomes something very surreal. If we stop to think, perhaps this could all be changed, but the moment someone tries to change something that is heavenly law, it seems that the great controversy ends up being created. I need to pay close attention because any decision I decide to make in this war could trigger in an even bigger way. But wait, what if I think differently and end up simply resolving this situation myself? Maybe my father can't understand which side I'm really on, but if I find a way to make the other 6 universes continue to exist and at the same time make the warriors stop getting into big conflicts, maybe that would be the best decision to make. At that moment, Gon had already made his decision. The High Priestess Zakai starts laughing and says,
So Gon, what will you want to do? You know very well that you need to stand on one side in this war. As I said, I have no intention of using some secret technique to try to summon you and manipulate you. In fact, the only thing I want is for you to make the best decision for it.
Gon starts laughing and speaks to the High Priestess Zakai. It seems that your true ideal is to create a great revolution, but that will only happen if I exist. Haha. So even if you want to, at least at this moment, you can't do it. I will put an end to this war, but in my own way, whether or not you want me to help you in this war. But at various times, you know that a great catastrophe can be created. Perhaps your ideal of wanting to bring the gods of darkness from the past, including dragons, is not the best way to resolve all of this. I know very well what can happen. You are wanting to do this as a revenge method or a method that will want to cause a big catastrophe, but at the same time, I can understand a little bit from your side. I already made my decision. Gon starts smiling at Zakai. What mysteries are behind Son Goku's third son? What are his true powers that can be combined alongside the rage of a hybrid that possesses Saiyan and angelic energy? What is Gon's decision? Meanwhile, directly on Earth, Goku next to Beerus, Vegeta and the other warriors were impressed to see Zeno-sama. Goku says, "Zenshan, haha, I'm so glad you finally woke up. Haha, be aware that we're having a very big battle, but don't worry, we'll get it all sorted out. Please don't do like last time, wanting to erase the universes." At that moment, Zeno-sama observes and speaks.
Goku, Daishinkan already told me everything that's going on. I heard that you can get stronger every time, besides showing incredible transformations. I'm sure you'll manage to get much more powerful each time. Everything you showed in the Tournament of Power was incredible. It just seemed like everything was so fantastic and perfect. The level you managed to reach was really sensational. I confess that I want to watch all your battles because I know that your powers will get stronger. Don't worry about Goku. Even if I wanted to, he wouldn't be able to erase these universes.
At that moment, Goku starts to smile and says, "Zenshan, just now I felt some anomalies in my body. You mean it was being involved with your ability? Do you have the powers to solve this?" At that moment, Zeno-sama's guards start looking at Goku. The High Priest says,
Son Goku, very well. Looks like you and your friends managed to hold together perfectly here in this universe. It seems that all universes managed to resolve this situation. I was able to follow the conversation that Beerus the Destroyer had with you. Do you mean now that the attack will start directly from Universe 7 alongside the allied universes? So you want to directly invade the Grand Priestess's palace, do you? This is interesting. Zakai was just with me, and what amazed me was that in the midst of all this war, she didn't even land a blow on me. I explained all this to Zeno-sama. Mr. Zeno's most powerful ability, which is universal eradication, has no effect on universes that have been retracted back. We really need to understand if Zeno-sama's powers are actually being annulled by some other being, or if this is all about some spell actually done by the priestess Zakai. An enemy that manages to annul Zeno-sama's eradication power becomes a dark enemy. Looks like this will have to be resolved one-on-one, haha. Ziel was defeated by Jiren. Ziel's ability worked to nullify the power of angels. This guy was literally a pain in the ass, but Jiren managed to resolve his situation with him. However, still, I noticed that Gon was captured. One of the things that makes me question is, what would be the decision that Gon could have if Zakai explained to him his point of view of what happens in a celestial war? At that moment, Goku and Vegeta look on. Vegeta says, "What is he trying to say with that? Does he mean that this son of Kakarot might betray us? I don't understand. It looks like things can get more and more complex. I really wanted to understand. It seems that the powers and levels that are being shown make us wonder about the battles that can happen. This boy, he will still show extremely high potential. It remains to be seen which side he will be on." At that moment, Goku says, "But what are you talking about? Gon has always been by our side. He is my third child and his powers are incredible. He is the key to putting an end to this war, as Vado-san herself spoke." We traveled to another timeline to get Gon here, and since then we've been training insanely and getting stronger together. Gon has proven his loyalty countless times. Goku starts remembering all the battles he's had. Goku remembers his first battle with Piccolo against the Saiyans, Majin Buu, Beerus's invasion, and later Zamasu and Goku Black. The awakening of Ultra Instinct came in Goku's mind. Several enemies existed. Why is Goku thinking this way? Daishinkan watches. Rest assured, Mr. Goku, but we can't stop asking ourselves this question if everything that happened couldn't have been manipulated by someone. What if Gon needed to be brought in by you and Vados for Zakai's plans to succeed? At that moment, Zeno-sama starts laughing and says,
You are a very good being, Goku. That's why I wanted you to receive my heavenly energy to be able to fight the enemies that are in this war. Whoever it is, I want you to defeat them all.
Beerus and Whis beside everyone are shocked by what Zeno-sama says. Vegeta says,
What do you mean he wants Kakarot to receive his powers?
Goku watches everything and doesn't say anything. At that moment, when Goku is going to make his decision, a great light appears directly in Universe 7. At that moment, the Great Priest watches and speaks. Looks like we have an unusual visitor. At that moment, Goku watches and smiles, saying, Gon, did you manage to escape? Haha, I knew it! You're amazing! Let's take these guys out! At that moment, Gon with a totally different face says, I didn't escape. I came here of my own free will, in the same way that I will return to the palace of the priestess Zakai. I just have a message to give to all of you.
Gon inexplicably appears on Earth while the High Priest was talking and explaining everything about the priestess Zakai's next steps. At that moment, many doubts ended up being created. The High Priest had said that Gon could change sides in the Celestial War, which didn't make any sense to Goku, Vados, and everyone else. Once Gon came from another timeline to be able to fight and save the world from him. Gon, the third son of Son Goku, the angel Vados of Universe 6, apparently has even more complex ideals. What will be Gon's true ideal? What will Gon be able to show in the face of all of this? Gon appears on Earth. Goku starts watching Gon and Gon says, Dad, it looks like we meet again, but I am just here to deliver a message to all of you. So from what I can see, we have Zeno-sama and her guards, the Great Priest and my father's warrior friends who fought at the beginning of the Celestial War. Haha, this is awesome. Haha, you are all very strong. Actually, I think I was the only one who lost the fight. I ended up being defeated by Kai. But I think this defeat helped me to start remembering some things that happened in my past. But I don't know what's happening to me after I talked to the Great Priestess Zakai, even though I don't agree with her ideas. I also cannot agree with the ideals of the Great Priest next to Zeno-sama. It seems I can even understand why this war is taking place, and I know exactly what to do to stop it. I managed to come into a slightly different mindset. I know what I need to do to put an end to this war. At that moment, Goku watches and speaks. Gon, what are you talking about? It doesn't make any sense. This isn't like you. Stop this. Come with us. Zenchan is here. He knows very well what we will need to do to put an end to it all. At that moment, Gon starts to laugh and says, Haha, Father, I'm sorry, but I said that I'm the one who will speak here. I have just one request to make of you. Beerus beside Whis starts watching and talking. This kid doesn't seem to have been given any manipulation techniques. Everything he's doing here seems to be of his own free will. I am unable to understand this. At that moment, Zeno-sama starts to look innocently and smiles, saying,
This boy looks a lot like Goku. His eyes are red and his hair is white. Oh, how cool! Daishinkan, his hair is the same color as his. He said he is Goku's son with Vados. Can angels have children with mortals? Oh, I want to know more about this, Goku.
In a few moments, the High Priest says, I don't know why my intuition didn't say I was wrong. Looks like the kid really wants to be by Zakai's side. What did she say to him that made him change his mind so much? I don't remember this kid being so convinced of the things he said.
At that moment, we can see that Gon started to smile. Gon says, "Haha, I will put an end to this war, but for this war to end, both sides will have to have their gods destroyed. This is called a revolution. Zeno-sama and his gods, Great Priest, you are the real key piece. Because of you, all disagreements happen. If I finish you off, after that, I just need to destroy this Zakai and the others. After that, everything will be resolved. Zeno-sama, I never agreed with your ideals and your goals of wanting to end everything whenever you want. So for me, that's enough. Now I will leave here." At that moment, Gon creates a large sphere of light to come out of planet Earth. At that moment, Gon's body is paralyzed and a huge blast of energy is released on Gon. Everyone is impressed. The High Priest just watches smiling and says,
I knew she wouldn't leave things that way.
At that moment, it was Vados. Vados, Gon's mother, launches a huge attack on her son. Gon, with his shirt torn apart, watches Vados and speaks. "Why did you do that? Get out of my way now." Vados says,
"You'll only get out of here if you can beat me."
An unusual encounter. Vados, the angel from Universe 6 who has extremely high powers, has finally shown her powers. Vados had sealed Cypher away. The Vados powers were very worn out due to all the battles she had already had at the start of the Celestial War. Vados doesn't accept Gon's change of personality. Vados advances directly to Gon and speaks.
"Come on, stop it. Tell me who is manipulating you. Why are you doing this? You are not like this."
Whis is seriously watching Gon and Vados fight. Beerus says, "Should we interfere, Whis?" Whis says,
"It won't be necessary, Mr. Beerus."
Vados speaks.
"You came here to end this heavenly war and bring peace to all. How can you say that you want to turn against Zeno-sama and against the Great Priest?"
At that moment, Gon speaks. "Haha, I think you misunderstood, Mom. In fact, you are not even my real mother. My mother is Vados, the Celestial Angel of Universe 3. I don't know at what point your connection is connected, but I will not respect your thoughts. My universe was completely devastated by several gods. Sometimes I wonder if my universe had been erased by Zeno-sama himself. If you would travel timelines to ask for my help like you did when you brought me, haha. Sometimes everything seems like a big hypocrisy. They are the ones who ended up turning against everyone in the truth. Zeno-sama being able to erase a universe whenever he wants is surreal. I will never accept this. I'm sure that as I get stronger, I'll be able to put an end to this whole war, so please get out of my way." At that moment, Vados raises her power even more and launches a great blast of energy at Gon. Vados says,
"That's enough. If you don't want to come for good, you'll have to come for bad."
Gon charges in directly and starts covering Vados with a barrage of punches. Gon says, "You're not fighting to kill me. You know very well that if you wanted to use a deadly technique, you could resolve this entire situation quickly. Or is it that you don't have the strength for it? Or that you don't have the courage to attack me?" Beerus beside Whis and the High Priest watch. The High Priest speaks.
What is that? I am not able to understand. It seems that this boy possesses more daring than he realized. That angelic energy of his still amazes me.
Beerus says, "This boy was trained by me, and he trained directly in the room of the gods. He has powers that so far we don't fully know. I'm sure the Mother of Angels is aware of that. But he turns on all of us and still wants to fight Vados. It might be interesting to stop him by force." The High Priest observes and says,
Maybe not. Let's see where this goes. He is questioning the intervention of the gods, but so far the gods themselves have done nothing. This is all happening for mortals. Let's watch what will happen.
At that moment, Goku was impressed with everything he saw. Vegeta just watched Goku. Vegeta speaks. "This kid is screwing everything up. I can't stand it. I'm gonna teach this kid a real lesson." Gon advanced, attacking Vados more and more, and Vados dodges with the mastery of her Ultra Instinct. At that instant, Gon says, "Good. I'm sorry, Mom, but I need to get out of here, and if you don't let me, I'm going to have to pull the real punch and stop you." At that moment, Vados starts to cry when she sees what Gon has become. Goku yells and says, "Vados-san, get out of there, or Gon might do something horrible. Gon, stop it!" At that moment, Vados charges directly at Gon. A big explosion begins to be created. Vados says,
"That's not possible. He won't do it."
Just as Gon was about to launch an attack on Vados, a glow appears over Zeno-sama's body. Goku advances directly to Gon and Goku prevents Gon's blow on Vados, but Goku's body was already completely pink, reminiscent of his Omni-Infinity form, but pink. At that instant, we can see that Goku merged with Zeno-sama's powers. Zeno's voice comes up and says,
Goku, you are very nice. This way we can fight even for a little while together.
Goku Zeno looks at Gon and speaks. "Now it's over, Gon." Gon looks on with a look of astonishment and says, "Father? Hahaha, good. I didn't want that, but it's getting interesting." To be continued. What is going on for Gon to have the courage to attack Vados? Gon has declared that he is on Zakai's side and Goku and Zeno are now one? What's up, partner? What do you believe and what do you imagine about all this? Regardless of what it is, it's more than important that you share your thoughts in the comments below so we can get into a crazy debate. Whack that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. That's all there is to it, and we'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.